Anyway, it was a good time. So, I suppose we're going to talk a lot about wrestling.
Figured as much.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. All right.
I want to hear all about it.
Okay. Here we are with a new episode of Pints and Pages. I'm Nick.
I'm Brad.
I'm Levi.
And our episode yesterday was the big day, OVW, the throwdown in downtown Logansport. And I think, from what I could tell, it went very well. I don't want to, I almost feel like I'm tooting my own horn, but I think the place was packed. Yeah. It was the busiest that Bonus Pints has pulled in some heavy crowds, and I'm debating about last night that could have been the biggest crowd I've seen at Bonus Pints.
Picture-wise, it looked like one of the biggest.
It definitely competes. The thing is, with the crowds at Bonus Pints for the music outside the tent, like, there's people under the tent, so when you take a picture from up above, you get the outside people, but then you kind of miss if there's anybody in the tent. So it's debatable whether or not it was a big crowd, but I think it was a pretty decent sized crowd. I think the OVW folks were very pleased and happy with the crowd that came out. I was very pleased and happy. It was nice to see everybody down there. It was nice to see that professional wrestling is alive and well. You could tell it last night. That was for sure.
The pictures definitely showed it. I sadly couldn't be there.
Kind of curious as to what their average attendance is, like in-house at home kind of thing, and then versus on the road. Yeah,
I don't know how their road shows do per se.
I imagine it's up and down and all over the place.
Right. Well, and they do a lot of, they do a lot of indoor stuff. So I think the Davis Arena, where they do their live show on Thursdays, TV only seats 100 people.
Well, that's kind of what I'm like. Did we just have more people than they can fit in their home building?
Yeah, I think so.
Outside.
That would be awesome.
I think we did.
We have a bigger crowd than what they're fucking ever used to put. Like, on a regular schedule, like, when do they get a crowd that size?
Yeah, I know that last weekend, on the 31st, they did a show somewhere. I think it was in Pennsylvania. And I want to say that they posted online that there was like almost 2,000 people.
See, that's what I'm getting at. Like, they're gonna have some fucking bangers, visits here and there.
But that was an indoor auditorium. That was like, it was like a basketball. It was like a high school gym.
It was like being at the Berry Bowl.
Yeah. And
local high school gym if you're not.
And they had WWE legends, JBL, Bradshaw, Kevin Nash, Boogeyman, and
so they had
and there was a girl.
And their marketing was like probably out the fucking ass.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, if you're in a big city in Pennsylvania and you're attaching 4 Hall of Famers to your list, that's a pretty big deal. For what we pulled in last night, people-wise, crowd-wise, and for the fact that the only champion there last night was the women's champion. There was no pre-advertised, here's who's wrestling. There was no pre-advertised. They didn't finalize the card until Friday night, and that's not their fault. They just things come up at the end. People can't work it into their schedules, so they got...
Well, and I think...
Plus, there's a price package. So, I mean, if you pay this price, these are the wrestlers you get. Maybe if you pay a little bit more, you get...
The thing I think was almost necessary for the type of stop they had at Bonus Pints was to leave that unchanged so you can gather some more information to make it feel a little more homey, because... The one thing I thought that was fucking awesome was they had the tag team match, right? And the motherfucker that won was the superhero, and it's a comic book store that's...
Right.
I don't know if they put thought into that, or if he just wins a lot, or maybe it was crowd response that kind of helped that along, but I think it was like... if you give a fucking list of wrestlers ahead of time, you haven't put a lot of thought. You're just doing your job. You're going through the motions of your booking job.
Well,
it's like, well, they're like this.
Right.
But if that was intentional to have a superhero win when the comic book store is fucking throwing a party, yeah, I thought that was
well, and he had told me that he had asked to come when he found out that a comic book store was sponsoring the event, because after the show was over, he had Tony Walters film a promotional video in the comic book store.
Oh, that's cool. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That is
He had Tony film a
That's a
film
brilliant thought process.
Yeah, so he wanted to come, and
see, I bet you anything that's what they put. They put thought into.
And
it.
his tag team partner was Big Whiskey, Jared
from
Kripke from Lafayette.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, and he's going to be here with that Evolve Wrestling, the local guys.
Oh, okay.
He's going to be here in October with them. Because he is a local Lafayette guy, and so he was there super early because he lives in Lafayette, and helped set up the ring and talked to me for a long time, and just was like, he was he'd asked if I'd been to any independent shows like locally, and I said, it just kind of died here for whatever reason. I remember growing up there were shows all the time, and then it just kind of faded away. And he said, yeah, I noticed that too. And he said, but I'm hoping to get it to come back. And I said, well, I'm hoping to make OVW a yearly event, like the yearly OVW,
That would be awesome. I know they enjoyed it. You told me they enjoyed it.
Yeah, they very much enjoyed it. They thought the space was fantastic. The wrestlers said, I closed the store at 5 and locked the door, and the girls' locker room was the comic book store. And then the guys were down at the end of the hall in the extra room. And they, when I showed them
the one with the big windows facing Broadway.
Yeah. And
I would have thought the lantern personally, but...
Well, the windows to see in.
Oh, I guess I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so... but yeah, they like they both a bunch of them said to me I was like, I hope this is okay, and they were like, oh, you should see some of the places people stick us to get dressed. This is fucking fantastic. They were like, this is more room than the J-Rod, the women's champion, was like, I hate to bother you, but is there any way that you guys could put on the Alabama football game? So Tracy got the Alabama football game on the TV for him. They were, because she was like, I'm in heaven. Like, I get to get dressed. I get to watch Alabama football. This is fantastic. Like, I'm not in a broom closet. This is,
that's awesome.
This is great. So, so they were very appreciative of the accommodations. They were appreciative of the crowd. They thought the crowd was fantastic. They loved that the crowd got into it. I think there were a bunch of kids down there for the first time. I'm getting a lot of comments on Facebook on my pictures that, hey, I this was the first time my kids have gotten to see live wrestling, and they are fantastic. And somebody posted that they took their daughters and they're not really interested in it, even though her and her husband are, and the daughters loved it live. Like, can't watch it on TV, but they loved it live. And then the superhero gave them like little masks.
That was right by me.
Oh, okay.
So I was right at the fucking the edge of the ring. Like, I was front row, right in the corner. So I got to see a lot of it up close. It was fun.
Did you go reserve your seat early?
No, I brought my own chairs and put them where I wanted them.
Really?
No, there was plenty of space, and it was like, Bonus Pints events. People bring your chairs. It's a good idea.
Some people didn't, and we put chairs out for them. We were originally not going to put chairs out, and then a few people had asked the wrestlers about chairs, and they started putting them out themselves. And me and Matt went over and went, do you need any help? Brian told us not to put out chairs, and they were like, They were like, no, a few people asked, so we're going to put them out. We don't need any help. We can set up the chairs. It's not a big deal. I was like, okay. So they set up the chairs, but a lot of people brought chairs. I mean, they just know it's Bonus Pints. Like, it's outside. We're going to bring our own chairs. A lot of people, even if we probably would have said, hey, we have seats.
We have 14 million chairs. Don't bring one. I would have had them in my truck.
Yeah. People still would have bought them just because they're more comfortable.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Just having normal plastic chairs ain't the most comfortable.
Right. People would have just brought them because they were more comfortable.
Especially the way us Magic players have treated some of those chairs. They're not exactly up to par anymore.
Yeah.
So it was it was good. I think it was good for the city of Logansport. Like I said, the turnout was fantastic. The food truck, man, the hot dogs were fantastic.
I didn't get any food.
You didn't get one?
No, I stuffed myself at a family cookout just like an hour. It was like 2 hours before. So I get home at 5 o'clock and I just laid the fuck down. And I was out for an hour solid, like right on the nose. I woke up and Alex wasn't in the house. The dog wasn't in the house. I was like, holy fuck, what happened? And they went on a walk. But I was just like, oh no, am I late for stuff? Yeah. But
she left me. I'm just here.
Fully stuffed on food in a food coma right before I got down there, so I didn't eat.
I did. I had the chili cheese dog, which had, if you don't order it and just get it, hey, I just want a chili cheese dog. It was the big all beef hot dog with shredded cheese, chili, onions, and crumbled up bacon. And it was fantastic.
They look good. Tracy showed off her wiener.
It was fantastic. But the excuse me, the kitchen was slammed, the bar was slammed. I got business outside. Sold a couple of clocks. Thank you, Black Label. I think it's Chrome Masters. It's Ryan Babb. I appreciate the clocks. I sold 2 of those.
And now you're selling clocks.
Yeah, they're really cool clocks. I sold the Scott
Captain
Crowd.
Hook would be furious.
But what?
I said Captain Hook would be furious.
Scott Crowd bought the Macho Man, and James Massey bought the Hulk Hogan. I have an Andre the Giant and a Ric Flair still. But yeah, Ryan made me clocks with their vinyl albums.
Oh, okay.
That he makes clocks out of. So
that's cool.
He made wrestlers for me.
Yeah, themes them up with something.
Yeah, he made a few wrestlers for me. He can do just about anything. He told me that they keep them downstairs at Bonus Pints has a bunch of them.
Oh yes, I've never seen them.
Cabinet for rock bands. He made a really cool Iron Maiden one that's sitting in there right now. But they
there was a Ghost one that was cool.
Yeah. So that, I sold figures that I'd been sitting on for
ever.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Just get them out in front of people. I think the wrestlers did very well. Their lines were long as shit.
Yeah.
I think they sold a ton of merch.
That's awesome.
I think they sold a ton of merch, took a boatload of pictures. I can't wait until McKeever gets some of her pictures on there.
Yeah, Alex got her picture with Haley J.
With Haley J, I saw that. I saw it on Facebook this morning. And then I saw, Jason took my picture with Freya, and then took my picture, me and Matt's picture with Haley and her mom.
Yeah.
So
see, that would have been nice to have them both in the picture.
And Haley's always got to take 2 pictures. One where she's smiling and one where she's giving the middle finger.
That's what she told Alex. So Alex has 2 pictures, a nice one, and then she's like, we had to do her signature picture.
That's funny.
Yeah, because we took the picture, and we took the first picture, and then she was like, she goes, second picture, and she was just like, everybody lean in. And she's like, ah. And I was like, oh, that's funny. So, yeah. So, we, I feel like
What was your favorite match?
Probably the one that I got to watch the most was the triple threat, the guys' triple threat.
Oh,
match.
okay.
I really thought that the girls did a great job in their
I thought
four-way.
they were,
But they were
smoother. Like they were honestly like, no bias because they're beautiful women in the ring wrestling around, but they seemed to do it like they had it more put together than the guys did.
Yeah.
Like they seem like they're on a good career path with wrestling.
Yeah. I enjoyed the guys' triple threat match. I thought that went off really well. I didn't get to see a whole lot of the tag match. The problem is that I had to help. Like, my dad watched the beer stand while Matt went inside, but every time somebody wanted to pay with a card, I had to help my dad because he couldn't run the square.
Yeah.
So, like, I kept getting pulled away. So the tag match and the main event, like, my booth was busy and the beer booth was busy, and I was trying to help. And the agents, agents kept coming over and talking because we had to discuss business. And it was just like, so there was a lot and I was trying to take pictures because at that point the crowd was probably the biggest, and I wanted to get pictures before everything ended. So there was just a lot of the last two matches that I missed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that the first three matches were solid. Probably out of the ones that I got to see the most of, I enjoyed the triple threat. But the girls were very good. I enjoyed the girls hamming it up with everybody.
They all were sitting in the crowd somewhere at some point.
Yeah.
They're all running around.
Yeah. I thought, they...
The use of the belt was fucking great. The title to fucking smack each other.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Beat the piss out of each other with a belt.
So, I got a question for you because you were closer than me because I had to be back. I didn't have to be back. I wandered my way up front every once in a while, but for the most part, I just kind of sat in the back. And honestly, I just sat back and watched the crowd come in, and I kind of just soaked it all in. That was my whole thing. Like, I just stood quietly when I could, when Sean wasn't talking, and tried to just like soak what was happening around me in. But you were closer.
Yeah. Right.
When they chopped each other.
Yeah.
Like, it echoed through the thing.
Oh, this fucking
how
loud
was
as
it?
shit.
How
loud as shit up there.
Oh, like they were actually taking full chops at each
There
other?
was some good shit. And, like, I don't know, like, if they had their hands up and so, going back to the fucking using the belt. Dude, I could hear the hardness of the fucking title belt hit whatever the fuck they hit. You know, whether it was their head or their hands or something. But you heard that.
No matter what, someone was hitting something.
Well, and they pushed people, but they're like, I think it was the triple threat match. They pushed them back and then like quieted the crowd and then did the open hand slap just like across their chest.
Well,
and I was like, oh God.
Yeah, there was some good ones. And then
awesome.
There was something I doubt hardly anybody fucking noticed except for me sitting right there in the corner. But the ref actually took a super hard shoulder right to his mouth. The shorter guy with the curly mustache.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he did. He took a hard shoulder. It was during the triple threat match, and they rolled over. And he was sliding in between the ropes on the other side to start the count. When he did, the fucking shoulder came and hit him right in the fucking mouth. You could see him get hit, and then he's like, the other guy slides up, and he's like checking his mouth for blood, and then he gets back into it, and he kept going. But yeah, it was like, oh, fuck, man. Like, that made my teeth hurt. I was like,
hey, man, I'm not supposed to get hit in this interaction.
They legitimately, no padding, like, were throwing people out of the ring.
I was wondering how they were doing.
Yeah, no, they threw them out to the asphalt and jumped at them. Like,
what did you say it was? J Rod
was the girl?
Okay,
yeah.
She was the only one that heckled back at me at one point. And I can't remember what she said, but she said something, and I was like, I didn't even fucking say nothing. I was like, damn. And then she's like, she gave me a dirty look and was like starting to say something, and then she would go around all the kids and like go to shake their hand and then do the whole thing like that. And like she was just fucking with the crowd.
I heard they got pretty interactive with the crowd.
She went to shake the little kids' hands, and then she'd do that, and then she'd go, "Loser!" Like right in their face.
Yeah, and there was one little kid, she did it too. As soon as she pulled her hand back, he was like, and took off running, and then was hugging his mom's leg, like terrified. And I was like, holy shit.
Like,
yeah.
I love seeing kids get into that shit.
And then Pee Wee getting heckled by one.
That's what I was talking about.
Pee-wee.
Yeah, Pee Wee and Angel got in a shouting match with Will Austin.
I did get the double high five down with Super Z as he did his fast laps around. It was like his super speed laps.
Yeah.
He did like 3 whole laps, and I got both hands both times and came around by me. So I thought that was fucking hilarious.
He was a great guy. Him and Cal Hero. Actually, they all at one point or another, I talked to all of them. Probably the ones I interacted with the most were Haley, Super Z, Cal, and Jay. But yeah, I mean, they were professional as all get out for sure. We gave Cal Hero a bonus pints fanny pack,
dude,
because he's the fanny pack hero.
Yeah. It was like as soon as like he walked out with it, it was like all the dots connected in my head, because I remember walking into bonus pints and I was like, ooh, look at these fanny packs, and I was like, what the fuck made him want to make fanny packs? And then he comes the next week, and I'm like, fuck
shit, I can get a fanny pack.
Great marketing, man.
So yeah, I told I went in, I told Cal, I said, hey, I'm just asking, you are the fanny pack kid. And he goes, yep, and he's got one on. And I said, Bonus Pints has a fanny pack. And he goes, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. And he goes, where? And I was like, do you want it? He goes, I'll wear it tonight during my match. Yeah. And I was like, sweet. So like we went downstairs and I grabbed him a fanny pack, and I came out and I told Matt, I said, hey, I gave him a Bonus Pints fanny pack. He's going to wear it during the match. Matt's like, fucking awesome. He's like, that is great. That is fantastic. So yeah. So, and they even did like a little commercial bit. I think it's on TikTok and Instagram where Tony filmed Rebecca presenting the fanny pack to Cal, and he like takes his other fanny pack on, he puts the other one on, and then cuts a promo about being in Logansport. And if you're missing out on the great food, great beer, and great wrestling, then you need to get down to Bonus Pints and Savini Comics and watch OVW wrestling. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was nice. It was nice. It was surreal to me. Like, I don't know. Like, the whole evening was just kind of surreal for me. So, but yeah.
Seeing the Butler drop his character so fucking quickly was alarming.
What?
The bad guy?
Yeah.
The bad guy of the night was just like, it's like, ugh. You're just like, yeah, I don't like this guy. And then as soon as he's out of outfit, he's like the nicest, fucking happiest. He
pulls part of his hair back in a ponytail, and then he's got like these like glasses, like, and then he's like just like walking around like super nice. And I was like, he's the nicest guy in the world.
One of those kind of guys. Like, oh, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, that's kind of how he was. I thought it was cool how they set up the whole thing, because in the first match, the two guys that were fighting, they ended the match and they like shook hands and they were doing the rah-rah for each other, and the bad guy, Jay De Niro, like slid into the ring and like decimated him. And then here comes Cal Hero, and he stopped him, and he's like, tonight, main event. We're going to do this. And so that's how they like set up the main event.
I like that.
Suedo changing of tonight's main event. This is what it's going to be now.
Yeah. A grudge match between Cal Hero and Jay De Niro. And I was like, very cool.
I like that.
But I I keep forgetting some of their names, but the one who was doing the shit talking back at the crowd, at one point, Alex had yelled something, and he goes, "What would you know? You're just a woman." And I'm like, do I stand up for it? Like, what do I do? And I was just stuck laughing my ass off.
Do I stand up for my wife and laugh at this funny joke?
Yeah, like, what the fuck do I do here?
Yeah, the bad guys played very good bad guys, and the good guys played very good guys. That was for sure.
Yeah, she was funny.
That's awesome.
So yeah, and
hopefully we get them again next year, and I'll actually be able to attend.
Yeah. Next, I think we're probably going to do the same exact thing. We're gonna, hopefully they're not out of the country, because I know that they're working very hard on trying to get a European tour going.
Oh, that would be great for them.
Yeah, and I know that they're working on that.
That'd be cool.
So hopefully we can book with them exactly how we did this time. Like
shoot for June.
Yeah,
shoot for rain. June.
No.
Shoot for June with a September makeup date. Matt's like, we may just do September, just because we don't. But it kind of makes sense to do it early. That way you can still do it late. Where if you do it in September, I mean, it rained on Friday. It rained Saturday morning for about an hour.
Yeah.
Not heavy, but it misted. And it's just like, I mean, you could get rain in September just as easy.
You can back up venue at the event center.
Well, and that's the other thing.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is that, I mean, if we block out, I don't know that they could even do that, because I know that the event center is just gonna be busy as shit. But I don't know if that could be hey, okay, this weekend we're gonna do wrestling and we're not gonna do anything at the event center because we might have to have the wrestling there.
Yeah.
You know,
or schedule a wrestling after party, and then if it rains, you just have it there and then have the after party.
Yeah.
Host a late night after party for all the people who come.
Right. So
definitely a ton of ideas.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, definitely. I think with the crowd.
Which crowd?
I think with the crowd, they're definitely interested in coming back. They're definitely, I think we,
the Scott crowd.
The Scott crowd, and I think that we might be able to pull better, but not better wrestlers. Like, I think, because that's not what I mean at all. Because those guys and
just
girls
a different variety of wrestlers.
Well, like I said, it was not a bad turn. I mean, we didn't know who was coming. Like, if you could advertise that the OVW World Heavyweight Champion was coming,
right,
or Al Snow was coming, then, you know, we might have gotten even more people. But they didn't know what they were getting into, and we didn't know what we were getting into. You know, you'd never know. You plan for the best.
Expect the worst.
So, I mean, you just don't know what you're going to get. And
that the first time doing anything is going to be a crapshoot.
And Cal, in his own right, is a bigger name on the independent circuit, especially on the independent circuit. So, Cal, his friends and has trained with Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu, the Samoans on SmackDown. So, so he's a bigger name. His dad runs a whole entire independent company wrestling thing up in Wisconsin. So, I mean, he's a bigger name in the independent circuit. So I think that was good that he came back, for sure, and headlined the event. But like I said, you know, if you can throw in a title match in there, it changes the whole ball game.
Something I think wrestling is missing. We haven't had a clown wrestler in a long time.
Yeah, you know.
It's just like maybe I'll debut as a clown wrestler next year.
Good.
Just hit people with balloon animals.
Oh, besides for the belt, were any other weapons used?
No,
nothing. No steel chairs, no
chairs, no other weapons, which I think was fine.
No.
I didn't feel like it was missing.
I just didn't know if they weren't going to do that kind of thing.
They no weapons, and I did hear them say, I heard them tell Super Z, no suicide dive.
No suicide dive?
Yeah, because they were throwing people out, and they would stand on the apron and jump down, but Super Z wanted to do a suicide dive spot, and I heard Haley tell him, or maybe it was her mom, one of them told him, hey, I talked to the agent, no suicide dive tonight. And he's like, oh man, all right, I'll work around it.
So jump off of...
The suicide dive is where you run off the ropes and you dive in between the other two ropes and land on the guy outside.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
So with no pavement and basically the seats only being 10 feet from the ring. Yeah,
he would have hit people.
He would have hit people.
I'm like, you come at me. I got you.
Yeah. So, but he had enough spots. He got tagged in on the hot tag and put on his cape and jumped off the top rope. It was great. It was really good. It was really good. The kids loved him.
It was the right amount of cheese.
I haven't been able to be on Facebook much. I'm hoping to see some videos and stuff.
Yeah, they Izzy's girlfriend Sarabia posted some videos. Blake sent me a video of the frog splash that Will Austin did last night. I think he posted it on TikTok. So there people definitely got some videos. I think Jared Kripke might have filmed the whole thing, but that might have just been for himself. I don't know. They brought a PA system. The only thing was the lighting right there at the end. Even for it being 60 degrees and fairly chilly. Honestly, it was probably better that it was like that than it was 110.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
But
I think it's more comfortable for the wrestlers because when they're in there moving, they're gonna be hot as fuck, and it keeps them more comfortable if they've got a chill breeze rather than it being 110 and humid as fuck.
Yeah.
And even then, when they're standing on the rope, they're like, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that they were probably, but I think people still came out. They just bundled up, but
oh yeah,
it would have been nicer if it was 80,
72.
75, 80 degrees. That would have been better, but
and that's like less risk of injury if you're warmer.
That is true too.
Yeah, less chance of cramping up if you're warmer.
Snapping something.
So, it was fantastic. Words can't even describe how it was for me yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't get to interact with any of the wrestlers out of character though. Like, I didn't really get to talk to any of them.
I'm really hoping we get to go down and do something.
Yeah, that's my next. I definitely need to ask.
Even if it is just to go down and watch, I would love to go down.
Yeah, I am definitely gonna ask about trips down there, and one specific trip for the podcast to go down there and do something where we can sit and maybe do anything with the wrestlers.
Yeah, that'd be just a ton of fun.
Yeah.
And it'd be fun to have just...
One of the wrestlers walks over and like, hey, can you help me with my taxes? Yeah, anything, I guess.
We did say anything.
So, and you couldn't go last night because you went to see Weezer.
Yeah, that was my eventful night. I mean, Weezer was fantastic. They played, they started at 9:05 and didn't finish till 11 o'clock. Like, they played a full 2 hours, basically. It was fantastic. They played about anywhere between 26 and 28 songs. I don't know the exact amount. But they did, 12 or 13 of their hits minus anything from the Blue album. And that was them taking off into space. Because the whole theme was their voyage to the Blue Planet for their 30-year anniversary. And so that was them, like, the whole background, because it was one giant screen, was them, like, taking off through space and traveling through space. And then about when they got through those 13 songs, all of a sudden on the background, like, the lights went out and an alien hit their ship, and so they crash landed in the Pinkerton asteroid belt, played through the Pinkerton album, and then the animation took off. You arrive at the blue planet, and it's dead. Because Weezer's been gone for 30 years from it, so you got to play the blue album to revive the planet. By the end of it, the whole screen's like blue and colorful and shit. It was a fantastic show.
Oh, God.
They had an amazing performance. Sounded for the most part almost identical to being on record. They did amazing. I mean, they even for like the sweater song. Is it that song? Yeah, where they got the talking.
They talk in the background.
Yeah, at the beginning and then like halfway through. Yeah, the guitar player and the bass player were doing it while River just kind of stood there waited for it to kick in.
Yeah.
It was definitely fantastic, especially seeing them for the first time. Loved it. Got to see every song I wanted. Basically, there was nothing I didn't get to see.
Right.
Flaming Lips were great. Their lead singer's fucking wacky. I just said he looked like Beetlejuice. Kyla said he looked like a mixture of David Bowie mixed with Beetlejuice. He had
Pete Davidson.
Yeah. Yes, actually, a lot of people made that joke too. Except instead of short hair, he had like the big fucking frilled out hair.
Yeah.
They did play "She Don't Use Jelly," right?
Yeah. Yes. Oh, I forgot to send you a video of that because Kyla even mentioned it.
Yeah.
I think she might have taken video of it.
Yeah.
But they have these big inflatables that are there. Oh, I looked it up. They're space orbs, is what they call them. But
they're a fantastic live show.
They were amazing.
Yeah.
Each show they do 2 different ones. So for ours, we got the pink robots. I didn't see videos of what other ones were because I guess it's a big ordeal in their community of like.
Oh, which one
you get. The lead singer was nut. He did not want you to be quiet at all. He wanted everyone to scream the whole entire time. If you weren't screaming, he's like, "Come on, guys, scream! Come on!" Like just the whole time in between songs. "Come on, guys, come on! Scream it, louder! Come on!" At that speed, yelling at us the whole time.
I would be overwhelmed. Like, bro, I'm gonna have to go home if you don't stop.
Their show was very overwhelming with lasers and lights, and you got guys. Not only are they inflatables, but you got stagehands shaking them back and forth with the beat and shit. It was a great show, but I was just like, "Holy fuck, dude!" For never seeing you guys before, this is a lot. Fantastic, but a lot. And the Dinosaur Jr. was all right. My only complaint was I don't know if it was a distortion effect or some other effect they were trying to add to their guitar, but it just did not sound right in that arena. Instead of it doing anything, it just created almost like a feedback, high-pitched squeal, but you could still hear the guitar in it. It was it didn't sound good. And I don't know if that was just the arena or if a cable was loose, and I don't know. I don't know what it was. But when that wasn't on, they were fantastic. The guitar sounded fantastic. The lead singer sounded great. I know you said they almost got booked at the State Theater at one point.
Yeah, Matt.
Which I would have loved to see them there instead of opening.
Matt actually, had talked that at one point he almost was able to get Dinosaur Jr., but they couldn't work out the dates. And he said, obviously, the State Theater was where you would have to put a show like that, because I would think that they're a big enough name that they wouldn't just be able to play bonus points.
There was definitely enough people there for Dinosaur G. Because, I mean, you know how shows are for an opener. Normally, it's not very filled out. They had a good amount of the people still in their seats watching and listening.
For them, yeah.
People in the pit were going crazy for them. So, they had a pretty good fan base for me not knowing who they were.
Yeah.
Which doesn't say
Their
much.
one hit was a song called Feel the Pain. And I'm pretty sure they probably played that at some point.
I mean, imagine. I didn't really
pay attention.
Yeah, I didn't pay. The music was good, but I didn't really pay attention to different songs and whatever.
Yeah.
I was just jamming out. It was fun. It was over in Columbus, so 4 hours away for us, which wasn't that far for me. I just got home from there. Nightlife there was fantastic. We went and walked around. Great place. Mikey's Late Night Slice or Slice of the Night or some shit like that. Fantastic pizza place that's got a bar built into it. So basically, while you're waiting your hour in line, you can go get drinks and stand there with a beer.
Oh, okay.
Or mixed drink or whatever. They also had THC seltzers because Ohio has legal weed now.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I drank.
THC seltzers.
They were fantastic. Sadly, they're only like 2.5 milligrams, but
I need 20.
I need way more than 20. But they were still good. They tasted good, and it gave me an alternative since I'm not drinking.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was fantastic. We all had a bunch of fun. We didn't really do much other than sit at the bar afterwards after the show and watch dumbasses. It was a lot of stupidity.
Can be entertaining all in itself. So
yeah, it was Brothers Bar and Grill down in Columbus, if anyone happens to know what that is. It's fantastic. Great time.
Good deal. Now we've got 3 weeks.
To what?
Mick Foley.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm going to change
2, 3
topics
weeks.
up, staying on music, though. Did you see Linkin Park's new singer?
I did, but I haven't listened. Not that I care to necessarily.
I didn't think it
Nothing
was...
personal.
Hearing what the snippet of a cover, I didn't think it was bad. I've been going on rants to Dad about it. She's a Scientologist, is my big ordeal about it.
Yeah, I watched Tom Cruise movies. It's okay.
See, I don't. Not even because he's a Scientologist, but I just don't watch Tom Cruise movies, so I don't even have that excuse.
I watched Mission Impossible because I like the stories.
But did you see their guitar player left today?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he put a post out on Facebook that he's going to find a replacement for him, but he's going.
They've already found a replacement.
Did they already find the replacement?
I read an article that he. So the drummer quit.
I didn't even know the drummer quit.
So the drummer quit, but the drummer quit when they started this whole process. Because the drummer didn't want to play without Chester. So the drummer quit a long time ago. It wasn't anything to do. It wasn't a dispute with the band. He just didn't want to continue. He was done.
Yeah.
And the guitar player actually said that, in the article that I read, said that during this whole entire process of setting up their stage and mixing stuff in the back and getting ready for it and putting new stuff, mixing old stuff with new stuff and doing all of that, he's had more fun than he's ever had in his entire career. So he no longer wants to tour. He's willing to play the guitar on studio albums, but he no longer wants to tour because he just enjoys being a producer, a director. He wants to be behind the scenes now with Linkin Park because he's had so much fun doing it. He doesn't want to be in there. He doesn't want to go away from that. He's found something he loves and he wants to stick with it.
Okay.
So
see, the post I saw didn't even explain any of that. Yeah. It was just hey, new guitar player.
Yeah. So, and I think they've already found his replacement.
Did they find it?
Yeah, I think they already found his replacement. But yeah,
I'd be curious to see it live, their new whatever they got.
It's weird. It's weird that they announced the lead singer. In this day and age, they announced the lead singer and on the 5th of September, and their first live show, is the 11th of September.
Yeah, they just kept it.
I got on their website the day that they announced that she was the new lead singer, and you couldn't even buy tickets yet for the show that was literally 6 days away. So I think that that Friday, so it would have been this Friday on the 6th? Yeah, because they announced her on Thursday. The next day tickets went on sale and literally the concert's in 4 days. And it's just I thought that was weird to do.
That is really weird.
And
but give people much time to plan for that.
Right, correct. And there's no way tickets can be cheap either.
No,
there's no way.
No.
There's no way that tickets are going to be cheap for that.
Well, that's because she's a Scientologist.
Well, yeah.
It is a pay-to-win cult.
I actually
apparently,
haven't,
in my opinion.
I haven't heard anything about her being a Scientologist. The stuff,
Pay to win cult.
so
I can pay money to be on top. You say.
So
You gotta pay lots of money.
In
my opinion,
the one that I've heard that she's gotten the most guff over is being associated with Danny Masterson.
Yeah,
because she defended him during his whole rape conviction. But I heard that she released a statement about her relationship with Danny Masterson. I did not read that, but I've seen more flack or pushback from the community about that than I have the Scientologist.
I just absolutely hate Scientology as a thing because of the fact it was founded by a man who had wrote like 12 or 13 sci-fi novels and then decided all of a sudden, I can make a religion, made it like a sci-fi novel, and all of these people fucking believe it.
Yeah, that's kind of how
all religions are.
I mean,
you know the Joe Rogan joke, right? What's the difference between a cult and a religion? In a cult, the leader's alive, and the religion, he's dead.
Oh, yeah.
Once he dies, it can become a religion.
Yeah.
Look at Scientology.
Yeah.
L. Ron Hubbard died, and it's a fucking religion now.
Yeah. There is a fine line, that is for sure. That is for sure. So, yeah.
What about the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster?
I mean, that's a cult.
But is the spaghetti monster dead?
I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
You said that it's a religion if they're dead. Is God dead? God's not dead, right? So
Jesus died.
Jesus, but it's all about God, really.
But also, depends on how you want to look at it.
That's
now we can get into it. It depends on also, to my understanding, how you want to look at it. If you're looking at an Old Testament, then Jesus and God are two separate beings.
How did Moses die?
Oh, my God, dude. Like, this is too much for me.
That's the one I figured you'd know.
No.
Because it's Jewish.
Yeah.
You know.
He led my people through the desert for 40.
I don't remember how he died.
I don't know either. I know he fucking...
But yeah, Jesus resurrected, so he's not dead.
You got facts there.
Easter...
I don't know. I don't follow these religions.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
God damn it, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're going to blame him for this. I don't know why, but we are.
Yeah, we're going to blame him for it. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, no, I doubt anyone really gives a fuck that she's a Scientologist. I just like to say it because I don't like
I don't know. She sounds all right, but honestly, I saw a video of Linkin Park with the lead singer of Sum 41, Derek, and I thought he sounded better than she did. So I was kind of disappointed it wasn't him.
I kind of figured they should have just, made a new band. I don't know why motherfuckers gotta
be Linkin Park.
Especially now that you don't have your original drummer, and I know he's doing
the singer, the guitar player, and the drummer aren't original.
So you got your rapper and a bass player?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
It's like Ford's Shelby line of products. Carol Shelby's dead. That ain't the real shit no more.
You got a fact there.
They
is the guy that made Ferrari dead?
Did you see?
Should we make new Ferraris?
Did you see where Vegas is taking bets that Oasis will break up before their reunion tour?
I love that. I'll put $5 on that.
This isn't real, is it? Has the whole world got scammed? I feel like the Gallaghers are like, are you saying this shit? It's like, yeah, they all clicked on that article.
Yeah, they, Vegas,
you can make bets on anything.
Vegas actually has, I think it's almost like you can pick, a time frame of when you think that Oasis will, break up before their reunion tour.
Yeah, because don't they hate each other?
Yeah.
Because they're brothers.
I think
it's just
fake.
two brothers.
I think it's the longest con we've ever seen.
I mean, I barely know anything about them.
They probably live together in the greatest house ever.
That would be hilarious.
Here you go, brother.
Hey, you want to go play some fucking games together while the world thinks we hate each other?
Yeah.
Would you like a spot of tea?
I know the British people love Oasis, but they're the biggest one-hit wonder ever.
Yeah, that was the weird thing. Like
one for each brother.
They were like the catalog of hits that Oasis are going to play, and I'm just like, they have a catalog of hits, and I know people.
They got catalogs.
God knows that everybody, that all Oasis fans. I apologize. I'm not a huge Oasis fan. I would bet that when I first saw it, that they were getting back together, my first thought was,
I didn't even know they broke up.
Do we really think that they're going to make it? Like, that was my first thought. Do we think we're going to make it?
They were never together as a band. It was always one of the motherfuckers is like, oh no, I'm going to go fuck off over here. You guys do your thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, so we get an album with one of them. Or maybe some songs with one and some songs with the other. And then they might add some of their shit together in fucking editing. But it was always like, if you seen them live, you didn't get all the songs you wanted because you only got one of them motherfuckers on stage. Yeah. And it usually wasn't Dickbag. I can't remember their
I don't know either.
Noah and Liam or something.
Yeah, we know which one of them's Dickbag.
Yeah.
And we know he's watching.
I don't even know which one's the Dickbag.
The one. One of them's more of a dickbag than the other.
Well, one has to be a bigger dick than the other.
I just don't know which one's which. Noah Gallagher's got that band like the Flying Circus or some shit.
I don't know. You say Gallagher's, and I can only think of fucking what is it? Shameless.
Yeah, I get Lip Gallagher. I just keep thinking of Lip.
I just think when I hear Gallagher, I think of the fucking guy with the fucked up hair hitting the watermelon. That's what I think about. Like, it's definitely not Oasis.
I'm thinking of a dumb TV show Lily used to fucking watch before school every goddamn day.
Non-stop.
Shit, when she was living at the house, she was watching it again. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This show is over and you're still watching it?
She's like watched it through like 6 times. It's crazy. I can't do that shit. No.
I only have one show I've done that with, and it is Dexter.
Oh.
That's a show...
I've seen that show like 7 or 8 times.
Episode of, and I'm like, all right, that's enough.
Dexter?
No, fucking Shameless.
Shameless?
So that's enough degeneracy for the day.
Yeah, I would sit there and watch an episode before school with Lily while we were all like getting ready, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know how you do this.
Yeah, it's rough.
That is, I can see the appeal to that show, but it was not for me.
Yeah, I just watched through NCIS again.
Which one?
The original one.
The good one.
The 21 seasons.
With Agent Gibbs.
Yeah. But I only watched like the first like 2 seasons, and then Netflix took it down, so then I had to go to Paramount Plus. And then I started at like season 13, so I actually skipped like seasons 3 through 12. So, which are probably the good years with Ziva. I skipped the good years with Ziva. So I'll have to go back and watch those probably. But yeah, I don't know. I know that there's new shows out there. I need to catch up on The Boys, and I need to watch.
I just couldn't with The Boys.
I won't watch The Boys.
I just couldn't.
I watched the first episode and was just like, this is just way too fucking much.
And I need to watch the 3rd season of The Bear. I haven't watched that.
I need to watch The Bear.
I've not seen the 3rd season of that.
And then I need to catch up on Only Murders in the Building.
Tuesday. That's next.
Tuesday comes out Tuesday.
We're caught up.
Yeah, I need to catch up on last season because
it's a fucking doozy this time around.
Yeah, they're making a movie this time around.
I don't even think I've heard of that show.
What do you mean making a movie? Like the storyline?
The storyline. They're making a movie about the podcast.
I was like, man, are they going to actually make a full-length movie for Only Murders?
No, that's what, and they not only that, but it comes out Tuesday, and I think Thursday or Friday they announced that they've been renewed for another season. So I'm like, okay, cool. They're going to keep this going.
Now, what show is this that I need to watch?
Only Murders in the Building with Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez.
Huh.
And basically, they the first season is they all live in the same building.
Yeah.
And a murder happens. And it just happens that Steve Martin and Selena Gomez are listening to a podcast about a different murder, like a true crime podcast. And they end up finding out that they both are listening to this, and they discuss doing a podcast. And then Martin Short is like this deranged, eccentric ex-play director that hasn't had anything in years, and he thinks that this podcast is his way to start him again. So he goes over the top with shit, and so the three of them are making a podcast about the murder in their building.
And then the Steve Martin's character is playing. He's a retired actor, and the actor is like Columbo.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like a spoof off Columbo as the detective fucking.
So
guy.
they are trying to figure out, they're doing a podcast about the murder while they're trying to solve the murder. So yeah, it is. I've seen the first 2 seasons. I've seen part of the third one. I need to catch up with the third one. My last year's been crazy, so I need to sit down and focus on it and get it done, because the new season does start Tuesday.
The supporting cast is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and it rotates every year. Like season 1, Tina Fey was in it.
Fucking
last season, Paul Rudd and Meryl Streep were in it.
Their actor counterparts for the movie they're shooting are fucking hilarious.
Oh, for this new season?
Yeah, so they cast, spoilers, but they cast Eugene Levy to play Steve Martin's character. And they cast, what the fuck's her name? I can't remember the actress's name. But the other one was Zach Galifianakis for Martin Short. and the interaction they have is fucking hilarious. But yeah, you should definitely get caught up.
Okay.
I need to watch that. That sounds
Eva Longoria, sorry. It took me a while.
Okay. All right. So yeah. Has the new season started?
Yeah.
Oh, have they? Okay.
Yeah, we've been watching already.
Okay, so I definitely need to catch up then. But yeah, it's
2 or 3 episodes.
Okay. Yeah, it's just hysterical, and they each season a new murder happens. So they're investigating, because at this point they all believe that they're they can solve murders. So,
yeah.
So they are teaming up to
So at this point, right.
But now it's getting to the point where how are they going to escape that life? I could see that being the biggest point of season 4 is they're tired of investigating these murders because everybody they know keeps dying, or people that, at some point they're going to have to be holy fuck, we got to get away from each other.
We can't be doing this.
We can get the fuck out of this building.
But it's fun to watch. Martin Short and Steve Martin together are funny.
Well, they're best friends, so
yeah, they play really well off each other. And then, but you hear Selena Gomez and you think, God, is this gonna work? It really works. The three of them together is just it is a granddaughter with her 2 grandpas that just keep getting into shit that she's got to figure out how they're gonna get out of it.
Oh Jesus!
I mean, it's really because Steve Martin was an ex-detective on in a TV show. Yeah, Brasco, Brassus. Yeah, I think it was Brasco.
Something like that.
And he believes that. He's one of those old actors that still believes that people should recognize him on the street.
Oh, God.
So, and people mostly don't, but he's also he thinks that he knows how to do stuff because he was a cop on TV. And then, of course, like I said, Martin Short is this super eccentric, doing weird shit with plays. His plays are
garbage. Garbage.
And he's got dramatic scenes, and he's not a director anymore because in the first season didn't 20 people die on his set or something like that. And like, yeah. And then like, like it was some sort of tragic accident that happened because he had this stupid stunt that he wanted to do and something bad happened and a whole bunch of people died or whatever. So, I mean, it was really those two, like, and he also thinks he's a bigger star than what he is. So it's just these two people that just believe that they are like
grander than life.
Yeah, that they're bigger than life, and her just like being like, pull it together.
Yeah. Figure the fuck out.
Yeah, and it's definitely. I thought the first 2 seasons were hysterical. So yeah, so I definitely need to catch up and get caught up with that. So. But I was excited when I saw that the new season was out and then they were doing another one because I think that'll be good. So where are we at?
An hour.
We're at an hour. Anybody got anything else to talk about? Future stuff coming up? Anything?
I don't know if I think I'm going to Stained and Breaking Benjamin Friday.
Stone Temple Pilots and live on Sunday.
Oh yeah. Jeez fucking Christ.
So next Sunday we might do it early. Do the podcast early. Maybe play a couple games of Magic. And then we'll head out. We're going to go see Stone Temple Pilots.
How early are you trying to do this fucking podcast? We normally leave the house for a concert at 2.
We won't need to leave that early.
Okay.
Probably maybe 3. Well, we do the podcast.
You can get a half a game of Magic in an hour.
We could do a podcast at noon, be done at 1, play a game of Magic. We don't have to play Magic, we just do the podcast.
We'll figure it out.
We'll
figure
it out. Oh, I did tell everybody, what are your plans next weekend?
I don't know.
Okay. What are your plans next weekend other than the 2 concerts? Okay, because I told Clay, he came into the store Friday, he was like, is there any way that we can do a Magic night before the next set comes out? And I said, you know what? I'm not doing anything next weekend. So I thought about having Saturday Night Magic next weekend.
Go for it, because I want to see if those guys got any trades and shit.
Okay. All right. I'll put it out there.
Do some smacking with the decks I'm building.
All right. I'll put it out there that we're doing Saturday Night Magic. So, yeah, if you guys don't have plans, that's what we're doing.
Gotta make
Saturday
sure I
night
can
in the
beat
store.
these fuckers for the tournament.
So, yeah, so I'll put it out there. So maybe we'll get some Magic play in on Saturday and we won't have to worry about Sunday as much. We can just do the podcast and talk about the Magic games and everything else. So, yeah, we also have Mick Foley, end of September, the 27th, followed by the fantastic punk band, the Foleys.
Dust Morn releases
and then,
that day.
Yeah, Dust Morn releases that day for Magic. I could technically, I'm thinking the 28th, Scarecrow is at Bonus Pints with Jason McKeever. I actually thought about doing Magic that night too. So do it this night and that night.
Wouldn't it be cool if Mick Foley's like, oh, I love Magic.
Oh, that'd be funny as fuck.
I'd be like, fucking A, we're staying here till 3 a.m.
If Mick Foley says that he loves Magic, then we are definitely playing Magic with Mick Foley.
Yeah, I'll sit in that chair until my back falls off. Like, I don't care.
I just hope that I want Mick Foley to stay and watch the band. Like that, I'm hoping that he stays, like, maybe not the whole time.
He's probably going to look at you and be like, you know how many fucking times I've heard these guys?
Yeah. Well, they've never met him.
Oh, they have?
No, they've never met him. They are excited as all get out to come.
Well, I imagine so. You
don't
just dress like the motherfucker for leisure.
So yeah,
not get excited to meet him.
So yeah, they are ready to meet him. So I'm gonna run Magic this Saturday, and then I'll run Magic
the 28th.
The 28th. Yeah. That's my. I think that's my plan for the next couple of weeks. I don't have anything past that. Big announcement from Matt. Bonus Pints is going to have the Super Suckers back on Saturday, October 12th with Horse Tank and Coyote Bear.
Yep.
So, September 20th, our good friends Lisa Frank and the Trapper Keepers are going to be at Bonus Pints. So that's always a fantastic show. So we definitely train keeps a rolling. Even though last night was what I could almost consider after the birth of my children the greatest night of my life. We do have. So it's right up there with being front row at Raw. Being front row at your own wrestling event that you promoted.
I almost got hit by a garter belt from one of the
that would have been nice.
Yeah, I was too scared to touch it.
Whose garter belt?
It was J.
J-Rod?
Yeah. The maroon one.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa! And I was like, no, she'll break my neck if I touch it. It's going to pick it up and be nice, but I'm like, no, let's take a chair to the back of the head as soon as I lean over the ground.
Don't touch that!
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. This has been Pints and Pages. I'm Nick.
I'm Brad.
I'm Levi.
And we will see you next time.